So Imam Ali once said, "Money is the fuel of inclinations," which honestly is such a profound statement, isn't it? It's like saying money doesn't create our desires. It simply amplifies what's already there, and, that makes sense. If you're compassionate, wealth can magnify that and pave the way for greater acts of generosity. But if you're, overly indulgent, it can kind of become the fuel for excess and recklessness. Let's think about this in terms of history. There's this idea of the Zahid, which refers to someone who's self-restrained, even with wealth, compared to the Shahwani, or someone who gets swept up in indulgence. Think of a wealthy philanthropist, for example. Someone who builds schools, hospitals, you name it. They're using that wealth for good, for selflessness. On the other side, there's the person who's, throwing extravagant parties, living without any thought of moderation. It's like two sides of the same coin, right? Wealth doesn't change who we are, it exposes who we've always been. And here's an example that always sticks with me. This minimalist millionaire I once read about. He keeps his lifestyle super simple. A small house, no flashy cars. But he uses his fortune to support causes he really believes in, like funding scholarships for underprivileged students. What's striking is how his values, simplicity and giving back, are so obvious in how he uses his wealth. It's like the money became a mirror for his priorities. Makes you wonder, if you suddenly had a fortune, what would it reflect about you? What really stands out about Imam Ali's perspective here is this distinction between the Zahid and the Shahwani. It's not just about having wealth, but how you channel it. Think about it. Someone with self-control, the Zahid, sees money as a tool, a way to uplift themselves and the people around them. On the flip side, the Shahwani treats wealth like a key to every indulgence imaginable. No boundaries, no balance. Just excess leading to, spiraling downwards. And this idea lines up perfectly with the Qur'anic verse where it says, "Verily man transgresses when he sees himself self-sufficient." It's human nature, isn't it? The moment we feel completely independent, like we don't need anyone or anything, there's this risk, this tendency to lose sight of our moral compass. Wealth can do that if we're not careful, turning independence into arrogance, and then arrogance into, everything Imam Ali warned us about. It's fascinating and also a little unsettling how relevant this is today, especially with the whole consumerism culture. Like there's this constant push to, buy more, have more, flaunt more. And what's at the heart of it all? This kind of relentless indulgence where moderation just feels, out of style. But what if we flipped that narrative? What if wealth weren't an excuse to lose ourselves, but a challenge to find a better version of who we already are? So let's bring this full circle. Wealth by itself is neutral. It's neither good nor bad. What shapes its moral weight is how we choose to use it. It's like Imam Ali suggested, money doesn't define us, it reveals us. And that's such a profound way to look at it, isn't it? Every choice we make with our wealth, no matter how small, says something about who we are and what we value. There's this idea that financial prosperity could be tied to a sense of duty. Think about concepts like zakat throughout history. This wasn't just charity, it was an obligation, a way to ensure that wealth, served a purpose beyond individual comfort. What if we embraced that mindset today? What if more of our wealth automatically went toward education, healthcare, or helping those in need? It's like wealth could stop being this thing we hoard and start being something that actively builds a better world. Kind of like the Zahid mindset we touched on earlier, where money's not the end, it's the means. And let me tell you about these real-life examples that, honestly, just blow me away. There's this couple who created an entire community garden in their town, using their own money. And suddenly it's more than just a garden. It's a place where people meet and share, grow, literally and figuratively. On the flip side, though, and this is important too, there are those excesses, those who, sink their wealth into luxury, but leave little room for meaning. The contrast is stark, but it's also a reminder. At the end of the day, wealth is just potential. It's a spark. It's what you ignite with it that counts. So as we wrap up today, here's what I want to leave you with. Money, wealth, prosperity, they don't have to carry the burden of being a curse or even a blessing. They're tools, plain and simple. Tools that test our character, challenge our priorities, and, in the best case scenario, make us better versions of ourselves. So let's use them wisely, yeah? And on that note, I'll leave you to reflect. Thanks for joining me on this journey. Until next time, take care.